Okay, the wheels that I chose for this truck are the Ray's 57DR-X in bronze finish. And these are an 18x9 with a 0 offset. I did not want to go with a 17 or 16. I just want to go something a little bit different. And this sidewall height right here is basically the same size as my OEM sport tires. So you still got some meat on the tires. The tire profile is not too thin if I went with like a 60 profile. So 275, 65, 18 is perfect in my opinion. When I first picked these up from Discount Tire, I thought these tires are too fat, but when I mounted them on the truck, it just basically filled it out perfectly. Very happy with how the sizing turned out for this truck. So there is some sidewall ability, you know, to air down if you want to go off-road and whatnot. And they're not too thin, such as this, if you went with a smaller profile tire and you couldn't really air down much for, you know, going on trails and whatnot. And I believe the weight of these wheels are 24 pounds each, which is a big selling point for me. I didn't want to go too heavy wheels. Some of the wheels I was looking at ranged from like 32 to 38 pounds, and that's just a lot of additional rotational mass on this truck. And a lot of people complain about the fuel economy on this. So essentially I wanted to remain close to what the OEM wheel and tire weight was. I know the wheel weighs 24 pounds, and I believe the tire weighs 42 pounds. So I'm gonna go ahead and weigh the OEM tire and the OEM wheels and see how it compares. Tires are Toyo Open Country AT3s. Had solid reviews, and I was very happy with the OEM Toyo tires that came on the truck, so I figured I'd give these a try. And so far I'm happy. And as you can see on the tread, you got an aggressive all-terrain pattern right there. Sidewall isn't as aggressive as those BF Gunrich KO2s, but these are a little bit lighter, and these should ride smoother, I believe. Now the tire size I chose, these are 275 65 18s. This is one size taller and one size wider than OEM. I did not want to go 285s because there's some rubbing issues that are associated with that tire size. I did not want to do any cutting on this truck. This is a brand new truck. So I figured I'm going to be happy, you know, going one size up and one size wider. And so far it looks really good. And I've been slowly breaking these tires. I've only got about 20 miles on these things. But as you can see, I still got the red stripe and the yellow stripes from the factory. They do make a little bit of noise. Not as much as I thought though. So you can still hear a little bit of a whir sound, I guess, you know, that all-terrain tires have, but it's not that bad. Nothing compared to the OEM tires where basically you heard nothing. And then the wheels, of course. The wheels turned out phenomenal. I'm really happy with the color and whatnot and how it coordinates with the Lunar Rock. And I've got the optional raised center cap in there. A lot of people don't run this center cap. And then I've got the Megard spline drives along with the coordinating Megard wheel lock right there. Now these spline drives from Megard, this is actually a 2-piece lug nut. But other than that, that's basically a close-up view of the new wheels and tire setup right there. Now let me go ahead and show you on the front of the potential rubbing issues that you might have. Now when you lift up a truck, particularly a Tacoma, the main points of rubbing could be this mud flap right here or the cab mount right behind it. A lot of people run 285 tires in these trucks. I think that's just too big for what I'm looking for, but I'm happy with these 275s. Anyhow, most of the 285 folks have to get rid of the mud flaps right there. And then there's a metal cab mount right behind here, and they'll actually have to cut that metal out and then put a plate in there and have it welded. So it's custom metal fabrication. I just don't want to deal with this on this truck. I just don't believe in cutting up a brand new truck. So I'm sticking with 275s, and so far I'm happy. And on the front side of the bumper, for those that don't lift up their trucks, there is some potential issues of rubbing right there. And then I believe on the SR5s and the TRD Sports, there's actually a lower lip here on the bumper, which actually acts for aerodynamics to help achieve better gas mileage, but I took it off because it looks awful. A lot of people take that thing off and it doesn't really do anything from what people say. So a lot of the instances, people actually have to trim the bottom corner of that aerodynamic piece on the lower bumper. But since I don't have that, I don't have to worry about that, but I've got plenty of clearance here on the front bumper. My main goal and focus was to retain these OEM mud flaps because I don't want the bottom of this truck all thrown up with rocks and whatnot. And taking a look at the side profile view of this truck, these are 18x9, 0 offset. I believe this has just the perfect amount of poke on this truck. So I can see the sidewall protruding out in my side view mirror, and that tread is basically hidden with the top of that fender and behind that mud flap right there. So I don't have to worry about debris getting thrown all up on the side of the truck. But I'm very, very happy on the fitment and stance of this truck. It turned out phenomenal. If I went with a -10, they'd be sticking out probably another ½ inch more. So I think the 0 offset's perfect. And plus, the further offset you go past the fender, the more chance you rubbing either the mud flap or the front bumper. So I don't have to worry about that with the 0 offset. Everything worked out great. And another thing in here, as the upper control arm has plenty of clearance away from this 275 tire. Now, if I had a +10 or a +20 offset wheel, which actually pushes the wheel tire into the fender more, I would probably be rubbing this upper control arm. So the 0 offset provides me, I don't know, it's about, I don't know, 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch. So it works out perfect. Don't have to do any modification right there. There's no rubbing. So let me know what you guys think of this wheel and tire fitment. Should I went with a positive offset, pushing the wheels and tires into the fender more, or should I got a more negative offset, which actually pushes it out? So there's pros and cons of running each one, but I think 0 offset is basically the happy medium on a wheel and tire setup for the Tacoma. As I mentioned earlier, I'm very happy with how this thing turned out, and I'm very happy of driving this truck and walking up to it every time I get in and take it for a drive, knowing this is my truck and this is my creation right here. I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys a demonstration of the potential rubbing points on the 3rd Gen Tacoma. First point, we're gonna check the clearance of the cab mount area right behind the mud flap. And the second point is right here in the front bumper corner. So I'm gonna go ahead and start the truck up, position the camera, and I'm gonna go ahead and steer the wheels left and right, and it'll basically show the clearance of when the tire sweeps across the back area of that mud flap. In the same situation here in the front bumper corner, I'm gonna go ahead and steer the wheels left and right, and you'll basically see the tire tread sweep across the area of that front bumper corner. So I'm gonna go ahead and start the truck up, position the camera, and show you what kind of clearances we have with these 275 65/18 tires. Alrighty, a major milestone with the 3rd Gen Tacoma. Bigger wheels and tires now mounted on the truck, and it looks absolutely incredible. After weeks of research of what fits, rubs, needs major trimming modifications, I believe I chose the right size. There's no rubbing or cutting all on this truck. Although these are only one size taller and one size wider than the stock sports setup, it makes a huge difference, and 275s is a safe size to go with for Tacomas. The sidewall thickness is perfect for this truck, and not too low profile like 20-inch wheels would be. Now the sidewall is the same as the stock 265 65/17s, and I'm fine with that. The wheel diameter only went up 1 inch to an 18-inch, and these bronze raised wheels look absolutely awesome. The offset is perfect at 0, and they're just about flush with the top of the fenders, and I love looking at my side view mirrors, seeing the tires rotating. Now be careful when choosing tires and wheels for your truck, as the extra rotational mass plays a crucial role in gas mileage and making the truck feel sluggish. These 18-inch wheels weigh in at 24 pounds each, while the stock wheels are about 28 pounds. However, the tires went up about 7 pounds in each corner, plus they're all-terrain rated, unlike the stock street tires. Anyhow, how are y'all liking the bronze wheels paired up to the Luna Rock paint on the 3rd Gen Tacoma? Should I have gotten black or silver? Anyhow, if you guys like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Thanks for watching, and have a fantastic day.